Zhang Yi gathered his team inside their vehicle for a private briefing, his focus settling on Zhou Kor. He instructed her that once the battle commenced, she would be taken to the relative safety of St. John's Cathedral, where the cult's leadership would be compelled to defend it to the death. Zhou Kor agreed, feeling a mix of nervousness and excitement at the prospect of finally proving her medical worth on a real battlefield. Zhang Yi's tone then grew serious as he issued a critical warning. He told Zhou Kor that Yuan Kongye was no ordinary person, explicitly ordering her to absolutely refuse any offer from the sect leader to awaken her superpowers. He emphasized that there was no such thing as a free lunch, and every gift came with a hidden price. Though slightly disappointed at the reaffirmation of her non-combatant role, Zhou Kor promised to obey. Zhang Yi, revealing a depth of care born from their half-year journey together since the apocalypse began, then gave her a covert mission, to secretly keep a close eye on Yuan Kongye and report everything she observed, as the sect leader's abnormal blessing ability represented a significant potential threat. Their private conversation was interrupted by a knock on the car window from Xing Tian. Zhang Yi's old classmate urged the team to stop lounging and start familiarizing themselves with the cult's territory, as the zombie horde could arrive at any moment and everyone else was busy setting up defenses. Xing Tian expressed his heavy investment in the battle, having brought his best supplies, but also voiced a lingering distrust for Bian Zhenwu. Zhang Yi acknowledged they had little choice but to trust the Jiangnan team for now and advised Xing Tian to focus on his job. Heeding the advice, Zhang Yi and his team exited their vehicles to reconnoiter the area. As a mobile special operations unit, they needed to understand every potential battlefield to provide effective support. Zhang Yi quickly identified the optimal defensive position, the tall, abandoned commercial building adjacent to St. John's Cathedral. Over 100 meters high and located at the heart of the cult's territory, it offered a commanding view. From that vantage point, with his sniper rifle, he could dominate an area with a radius of several kilometers. He had come prepared with specialized ammunition from Lu Karen, explosive rounds designed to shatter the bodies of ordinary zombies and high-caliber armor-piercing rounds to deal with the tougher copper-armored variants. This perch would also allow him to effectively direct Liang Yu and the others during the battle, serving as both a powerful tactical node and an observation post to monitor the overall situation for a potential retreat if necessary. Determined to secure this position, Zhang Yi led his team towards the building to set up on the rooftop. However, their path was blocked by several vigilant members of the snow worship cult. One cultist stepped forward, his expression stern and icy, and declared that the building was a forbidden territory of their sect, ordering Zhang Yi to leave. The proclamation struck Zhang Yi as absurd and amusing, prompting a mocking smile. He pointed out the obvious discrepancy: the Baishui cult had only existed for a few months, and this commercial building had no prior connection to them. His team immediately sensed that something suspicious was being hidden within the structure the cult was so desperately trying to keep them out of. Zhang Yi led his team towards the abandoned commercial building adjacent to St. John's Cathedral, intending to secure it as a strategic sniper position. However, several snow worship cult superhumans firmly intercepted them, declaring the structure a forbidden area and refusing them entry. The cult's defensive secrecy only intensified Zhang Yi's curiosity, as he recognized that such guarded secrets often concealed critical vulnerabilities. Choosing not to provoke an immediate conflict, Zhang Yi diplomatically acquiesced, smiling and stating he would respect the host's preferences. He noted that the commercial district offered many other tall buildings and that switching to an alternative would not significantly hinder his plans. The team relocated to a neighboring building over 30 stories tall. Zhang Yi ascended to the rooftop step by step, a grueling climb that left him breathless and which Su Chunlei refused to complete, opting to wait halfway. Uncle Yu questioned why Zhang Yi didn't use his spatial traversal ability for the ascent, to which Zhang Yi replied that such powers must remain concealed and used only under cover of darkness or when unobserved. From the summit, Zhang Yi confirmed the location's tactical value. His firing line could cover a radius of approximately 3.5 kilometers, encompassing the area beyond the established defensive perimeters. After designating this as their defensive point and instructing his team to remain adaptable within the building, they descended to rest in their snowmobile, conserving energy and preparing for the coming conflict. Meanwhile, Li Jian returned to his family's dwelling within the cult's impoverished territory, his mind troubled by his silent encounter with Zhang Yi and the dilemma of whether to seek his help. He arrived to find his wife, Zhang Jinfeng, distressed and their tent filled with the pungent odor of urine. Their son, Li Kail, remained hidden inside, his physical wounds from Yuan Kongye's mutilation healed but his spirit shattered. The once cheerful teenager had become reclusive and melancholic, barely eating and refusing to let anyone near him. As Li Jian and his wife whispered helplessly about their son's condition, their acquaintance, priest Lu Deming, arrived with urgent news.
Lu Deming, an ordinary superhuman within the cult, informed Li Jian that the great battle was imminent and that non-combatants should seek refuge beneath the church for safety.
When Li Jian expressed fear about their survival, Lu Deming could only advise leaving matters to fate, living one day at a time in this harsh world. After he left, Li Jian and Zhang Jianfang faced a terrible dilemma, convincing their traumatized son to go to the very place associated with his tormentor, Yuan Kongya. Their attempts to persuade Li Kale were met with a pained, animal-like scream from within the tent, a refusal to go near the church. As the couple stood in helpless distress, a figure appeared at the doorway, Su Beibei, Li Kale's girlfriend and the indirect cause of his mutilation. Offering to try where they had failed, Su Beibei's voice caused the crying inside the tent to cease momentarily. With desperate hope, Li Jian and his wife pleaded with the young girl to persuade Li Kale to seek shelter with them, emphasizing the grave danger that now loomed over everyone. The snow worship cult camp was now encircled by a visible military presence, though most ordinary members remained ignorant of the impending crisis, believing the forces were there for their protection. Only priests and their families had been quietly instructed to seek refuge within St. John's Cathedral. Among those with a sharpened survival instinct was Su Beibei, whose motives for visiting Li Kale remained ambiguous. Li Jian, needing her help, made a pragmatic offer. In exchange for her assistance, his position within the cult could guarantee her safety. Su Beibei agreed obediently and approached the tent where the severely traumatized Li Kale had barricaded himself. Using a combination of affectionate pleas and manipulative appeals to his loneliness and damaged self-worth, she gradually soothed his agitation. She spoke of liking his personality and her own isolation, claiming he was all she had left. Her methods, understood but unspoken by the watching adults, succeeded. Li Kale finally emerged and agreed to go to the church with his family. Li Jian warned Su Beibei to be discreet at the church, as the cult leader disapproved of romantic relationships. Su Beibei meekly accepted the warning. The defensive perimeter around the Baishu SX territory was fully established, consolidating the armed might of Tianhai City's 5 major factions along with the cult's own followers into a force exceeding 8,000 individuals. This concentration represented the single largest gathering of survivors in the city, a deliberate bait to draw the zombie horde. Zhang Yi and his team completed their reconnaissance of the area, formulating a simple contingency plan centered on immediate retreat if the situation deteriorated. The first day of the tense vigil, however, passed without incident. Not a single zombie was sighted on the periphery. The forces settled into a rotation for night watch, while the majority took the opportunity to rest. As midnight deepened, Zhang Yi awoke in the snowmobile to the sound of his teammates snoring. Peering outside, he noted the ongoing patrols and, most notably, the heavily guarded forbidden building that had piqued his curiosity earlier. Compelled by the secret it clearly contained and confident in his unique abilities, Zhang Yi decided to investigate. He activated the night vision on his tactical goggles and used his spatial door ability to traverse the short distance from his chosen sniper nest building into the guarded structure. He emerged inside a dark room, the windows completely sealed from within. His goggles cut through the darkness, revealing a shocking sight. The entire room, an old office space with scattered debris, was utterly choked with thick plant vines and foliage. The vegetation crawled over the floor, walls, and ceiling, so dense it completely blocked the windows. A startling realization dawned on him: this was not a room containing plants, but rather, he was inside a colossal, building-sized mutated plant itself. Zhang Yi stood amidst the creeping vines, his mind racing. This was the secret the snow worship cult was so desperate to guard. But its purpose was a mystery. Was it a food source, or did it serve another, more sinister function? The scale of the organism was unprecedented, though in a world of giant mutant animals, a plant of such size was theoretically possible. Remaining alert and ready to escape via his spatial doors at a moment's notice, Zhang Yi pressed deeper into the eerie, vegetative interior. He sensed that uncovering the truth about this plant could be the key to understanding, and potentially controlling, a critical aspect of the cult's power. Inside the eerie, vine-choked commercial building, Zhang Yi activated his superpower, enhancing his speed and reaction time eightfold as the dragon's roar sword materialized in his hand. His training with Liang Yu had honed his close combat skills, and with his superior weapon and power, he felt prepared even in the confined space. He chose not to cut through the vine-blocked office door, instead slicing a hole in the wall to climb through. Emerging outside the room, he was met with a horrifying sight. The building's core had been hollowed into a massive sinkhole, the corridor beneath his feet reduced to a mere meter of precarious footing. His attention, however, was instantly seized by the colossal, dark red plant that dominated the space. It towered from the deepest pit straight to the ceiling, its trunk pulsating rhythmically like a breathing creature, with bark that peeled back to reveal a crimson, flesh-like substance beneath. Vines and branches laden with fist-sized, bright red berries webbed the entire interior, while leaves curled into oval, cocoon-like shapes hung from every surface like sinister insect eggs. The atmosphere was chilling and mysterious. Zhang Yi, swallowing hard, cautiously observed his surroundings, wary of whether the monstrous plant was aggressive. He had uncovered a monumental secret of the snow worship cult and now faced a critical choice: leave quietly or investigate further.
Ultimately, his curiosity won.
He carefully plucked 2 of the bright red fruits, cut some branches and leaves, and stored them in his alternate dimension, all while monitoring the giant plant for any reaction. Seeing none, he turned his gaze to the countless oval cocoons. With a grit of his teeth, he decided to take one, cutting it free from its branch and storing it as well. His mission complete, he opened 2 spatial doors and swiftly exited the forbidden building, returning to his vehicle. He pretended to rest but remained awake the entire night, anxious about whether his intrusion had been detected. The following day, Zhang Yi watched the snow worship cult's movements closely, but everything appeared normal, and his actions seemed to have gone unnoticed. He relaxed, reasoning that with spatial abilities being exceedingly rare, the cult's external guards would never suspect an infiltration. He resumed his defensive post as if nothing had happened. However, a new and unsettling development emerged. Throughout the entire day, not a single zombie appeared to attack the cult's territory. While the ordinary cult members celebrated, believing the human army's presence had scared the zombies away, the leaders of the various factions grew deeply concerned.
That night, they gathered again behind St. John's Cathedral.
The eerie absence of the undead suggested the zombies had either retreated or, more worryingly, had become aware of the human trap. Xiao Honglian voiced her frustration, stating the creatures were displaying too much intelligence, as if guided. Dian Junwo calmly inquired if there was any activity at their respective bases, but all reported unusual quiet. Zhang Yi then posed a crucial hypothesis: the inactivity might be a direct result of Dian Junwo's team killing a zombie king. He suggested that these intelligent zombie kings might share a special connection, and the death of one had alerted the others, causing them to halt their advance and reconsider their strategy.